My name is Firefighter Montunaga. This is Report on Conditions.
This week, we'll take you to a second alarm commercial structure fire in Palm Desert, and our firefighters trained with other fire departments within the county in last week's wide rise drill.
Engine 1 with report on conditions.
Hi, I'm Dispatcher Amber Frost, and thank you for joining CAL FIRE, Riverside County Fire Department's Report on Conditions. For the past week, from November 27th to December 3rd, our firefighters responded to 3,842 calls for service, including 2,864 medical emergencies and 128 fire-related calls. Of the fire calls, 25 were vegetation fires and 29 were structure fires. Let's take a look at a few highlighted incidents from the past week. On Monday, November 27th at about 2:20 p.m., firefighters responded to a fire reported near the intersection of Maiden Lane and Lillian Road in Lakeland Village. The first on-scene engine reported a large two-story barn on fire that had extended into the vegetation and was an immediate threat to additional buildings and vehicles. Several additional fire engines responded, and firefighters were able to contain the fire to the original structure and a small spot of vegetation. 2 vehicles were damaged and the barn was destroyed. Firefighters were on scene for about 4 hours performing heavy mop-up and no injuries were reported. Around 8 p.m. on Tuesday, November 28th, 911 dispatchers received multiple reports of a building on fire in the 73800 block of Dino Shore Drive in the city of Palm Desert. The first arriving engine company officer reported a single-story commercial strip mall with heavy fire and smoke through the roof of one unit and immediately requested a second alarm assignment. Due to unknown type chemicals burning in the structure, a hazardous material response was initiated as firefighters continued an aggressive attack. The fire was contained after about 4 hours to the strip mall unit, which was destroyed. Firefighters remained on scene overnight and on to the next morning, mopping up and checking for hot spots. One civilian patient was transported by ground ambulance in stable condition, and no firefighters were injured. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. On Friday, December 1st, around 4 a.m., firefighters responded to reports of a semi-truck collision with fire near the intersection of Highway 86 Expressway and Avenue 81 in Oasis. The first arriving engine reported a tractor and trailer that had crashed over a guardrail into a creek bed and was fully involved with fire, with an additional spot of vegetation burning. It took several hours for the vehicle fire to be contained as the truck was carrying batteries. Riverside County Environmental Health responded and worked with CHP to mitigate the potential waterway hazard. The occupant of the truck was flown to a trauma center with moderate injuries and no firefighters were injured.
The Riverside County Fire Department is currently enrolling volunteer reserve firefighters and other vital volunteer roles. Whether you want to start an exciting career in the fire service or just want to serve your community, visit rvcfire.org to find out more.
Hi Danger Rangers, welcome back. For today's tip, we are going to talk about campfire safety.
I love to go camping with my family.
Me too. My favorite part is roasting hot dogs and s'mores over the campfire.
We use campfires to keep us warm and to cook food. It's very important that a grown-up is always nearby, watching the fire to make sure that no one gets burned.
Yeah, and to make sure the fire doesn't get out of control and start a wildland fire.
The National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA, says that campfire accidents cause thousands of burn injuries every year. Make sure you and your family are not one of them.
Never use flammable materials or gasoline to ignite a campfire. A grown-up should also have a garden hose or bucket of water nearby to put the fire out if it gets too big or out of control.
That's all for today's tip. Thanks for joining us.
See you next time for more important tips.
Stay fire safe.
What is it like to be in a bulldozer? Is it scary when there's a fire?
I love my job, and being up against a fire on the line, I love it.
It definitely takes a while to get used to, being close to fire. You always have a healthy respect for fire. We remove the vegetation and get it so it's down to bare mineral soil, so there's no grass or trees or anything.
I could be clearing away buildings if they're all old, anything that's in the way of that fire that could be fuel, that could be burned.
One advantage for the dozer is people get tired, but a piece of equipment does not.
I do much more work in a dozer than the firefighters can do in a shorter amount of time.
So we can run up to 12 or 13 hours at a time, and we can go to a lot of places and cover a lot of ground.
The firefighters won't be as fatigued because we have dozers, we have equipment.
We do work hand in hand, so you always have to keep your head on a swivel and make sure you know where everyone's at.
So today we are participating in the RCTOA multi-agency wide rise drills. If any one of these buildings had an actual working fire in it, that's what we're practicing for. We're working on the large box store style buildings, 10,000 square foot plus. As you can see here, this building, this is the DHL distribution center here in Paris, and it's 400,000 square feet. All the agencies within Riverside County are participating. We have not just the Riverside County Fire Department, we have Hemet, we have Corona, we've got Murrieta, Pachanga, Riverside City, Palm Springs. Everybody from the Riverside County Fire agencies are here to participate. And it's really important that we do, because a large-scale incident like this will bring all the agencies together in some way, shape, or form. As we can see here, it's very narrow and small and compact. Trying to get multiple alarms worth of equipment into this type facility is difficult. And so we can't really simulate that at a training facility. For our initial fire attack crews, we're trying to simulate as much as we can, and so we use blackout shield on their masks. Basically, it just simulates a smoky environment, so that way the initial crews are trying to live that real life where they're pulling hose around obstacles where under limited visibility. It's a great opportunity to actually train in and see the actual buildings that we may be operating in during an emergency incident.
That's it for this week's Report on Conditions. Be sure to follow at CAL FIRE RRU on social media to stay up to date on incidents as they happen. Did you happen to capture any pictures or videos of our firefighters in action? If so, send them our way at rrupio@fire.ca.gov. On behalf of your CAL FIRE Riverside County Fire Department's Public Affairs and Community Education Bureau, I'm Amber Frost. Thanks for watching.